Good morning, my dear, lovely, faithful Pisces. This is your Oracle, Medicine, sending you light, love, and Reiki from the Divine, and a tarot message for the week of January 29th to February 4th, 2017. And it seems like what we got going on here is we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So towards the beginning of this week, are you going to be experiencing some micromanaging going on in your life? Perhaps someone is in your life trying to micromanage you. Perhaps there is someone in your life trying to tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and where to do it. They want you to be perfect and impeccable. But is that Pisces energy? Pisces is a lot out of time. Pisces is timeless and boundless energy. And Queen of Swords is structuring, is trying to be structuring and logical and time sensitive. And so that might be clashing with you towards the beginning of this week, my dear Pisces. Unless, of course, you have mastered a way to regain sovereignty and to deal with the situation yourself. Now, this can also be a person who's having some mental disablements going on. So be very wary of that too. For some of you, you might have someone close to you in your life that might be experiencing some mental disablements. And they might be, they might not be able to think straight. They might not be able to, they might have some things going on. So be wary of that going on as well. Technologies this week might not be manifesting in the right way. They might not be growing in the right way. They might not be, you might have started some new technologies and you're trying to get them off the ground. And for some of you, it just might not be going in the right way, in the right direction that you were hoping for it to go. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, its development is just not happening. There is a clash here to grow things through words, if you will. There's a clash to grow things through words. The communication, there's a barrier there in the communication that that's not allowing the things to get off the ground. Is the word that I was looking for there, to get things off the ground. There's a clash in communication there to get things off the ground towards the beginning of the week for some of you Pisceans. And then we get the King of Wands, who is very fiery and fierce and will light a fire, but very smart and methodical as well. However, very fierce and very passionate. And they have that power, they have that drive. And this is a very experienced, very mature drive. This person knows what to say, they know what to do. So when you're managing things, those of you who are managing things this week, you're managing them with a focused energy. You have the energy of the sun on your side, a focused energy that is very constant, that is daily. The sun rises daily to the east and sets daily to the west, and it shines daily midday. Even if you don't see it because of clouds, because of seasons, whatever the case might be, sun is always there. It's always there. So the king is ever sustaining fiery force, sustaining things, managing things through that ever-sustaining fiery force, tapping into that energy towards, as we transition towards the middle of the week for you is going to be very important. You might also have a very strong-willed, confident, mature person come into your life who is a leader, and they know how to sustain things. They know how to manage things. They have a very fixed way of doing them, however, and so they might invite you into that. They might present you with fixed ways in order to do things, some do's and don'ts, some yes and no's, and they're gonna be very blunt, and they're gonna be very truthful. They probably are gonna be very blunt and truthful, but perhaps in a good way on how to maintain and structure things in your life and keep things going, upkeep, maintaining, sustaining. That's the key words here. If you have a person in your life that's helping you out with that, or if you're gaining these energies yourself, that is what's going on with you as we transition towards the middle of the week. And it seems like we get the High Priestess here, who's saying that there's gonna be some blocked energy going on For some of you, in connecting to the intuition, there might be some blocked energy going on to connect you with that intuition going on as we are entering the middle of the week, transitioning towards the end of the week. There's going to be some blocked energy. You're not going to be able to, it's going to be having a hard time tapping in to that intuitive, that other realm, that other source, the intuition, your instincts, your guides, your dream worlds. It's going to be a rough time tapping into that for some of you. For some of you, you might have somebody in your life, and I almost want to say that it's probably the Queen of Swords here, who is only going to be giving you insights that are not going to help you, or they're being very stingy with their insights. They're keeping it all in. They're keeping it all to themselves. They're not assisting you with anything. Perhaps because they are upset, perhaps because they're angry, because they're mad about something. You know, you're in disagreement about something, and there's some clash there, and so they just want to be stingy and hold all of their knowledge and their insights that they have to themselves, you know, kind of like in vengeance of, you know, or in spite of you, because they're upset about something. And then again, this could also be someone who only says things that are hurtful. You know, they only give the insight when that insight is very hurtful and it's not assisting and helping in any kind of way. So there's going to be some of that going on too with the High Priestess for some of you Pisceans. I would definitely be on the lookout for that. Just know that it's there. Figure out how to master and brace yourself for that situation. And towards the end of the week, you get the Queen of Cups in reverse. The Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, again, there's going to be a blockage of energy to grow and move things about in an emotional way, in ways of the emotions. There's going to be a blocked energy there to actually get things off the ground. This is going to cause there's going to be some emotional turmoil. You might have, for some of you, you might have someone in your life who knows how to push your buttons, because you know us Pisceans, we can be very emotional people from the beginning. You know, we're there with our emotions, and this might be someone who might push our buttons, you know, and knows what to say and how to make us feel in order to make us feel guilt, in order to manipulate us to feel bad or feel guilty about a certain situation. Look out for that, Pisces. Protect yourself as best as you can. Protect yourself. Set up those barriers so that you can protect yourself from all those incoming traumas, you know, trials that are going to be coming your way. For those of you, you could be the Queen of Cups. As a Pisces, you could be the Queen of Cups. You could be someone that's very experienced. You could be someone that's very seasoned. And you could be someone that is experiencing some emotional turmoil right now. And this may be putting you in a very sad, depressed place. Okay? Or you might have somebody in your life who is actually just genuinely very sad and depressed. Okay? And I would definitely, it's all up to you. I would definitely kind of be caring towards this person. If I'm going to interact with this person, if I'm going to be a part of this person's life, be very sincere towards them, with at the same time holding my own sovereignty, that I can only give as much as I can give. I can only give from my overflow, not from my well. And so holding my own sovereignty, because me being drained of water in my well is not going to help them. If I am drained of all that, it's not actually going to help them anyway. So I need to make sure that my glass is full and that I actually have an overflow in which that I can give to them. If I don't have that overflow, ask yourself, do you have that overflow to give to another towards the end of the week? And for those of you who are experiencing this hardship yourself, it makes total sense. I mean, you have a lot going on right now. You know, there's a lot of clashing, opposing energies going on right now. There seems to be a lot of feminine energy going on right now, where the masculine energy is holding steadfast and staying strong and sustaining itself. But it's almost like this thing where it's like ignoring the female energy, the feminine energy that's going on. It's kind of causing this downward spiral to happen, if you will. And so kind of that's what I'm getting, you know. I mean, for some of you, there might just be multiple people coming on in your life. I mean, the High Priestess could very well be an own individual person in her own right, someone that has a lot of insights and a lot of wisdom, and who really is involved with their intuition. The Queen of Swords could be their own person. The Queen of Cups could be their own person, as well as the King of Wands. So there might be varying people in your life who play these roles throughout the week for you. And then again, this can all be different passages of the self at the same time. The intellectual, okay, the energetic, the vitality, the faith and emotional, that spiritual energy, the spiritual, intuitive, and the emotional. These could definitely be playing different parts and different aspects of your life for some of you. So, you know, things might play out in very different ways. I'd love to hear how things have actually played out for you. The spirit of helpful heaven has come into your life this week, saying to accept heaven's help. She says that you've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. She says, we've heard your prayers. We've heard your prayers. You've talked to us time and time again. But how much are you talking and not necessarily listening? Oh, how much left brain action do we have going on towards actually blocking our right brain from receiving, and our left brain for that matter, because our left brain can receive too, but our left brain likes to be very logical. So how much is that? How much are we blocking ourselves? And to read a passage from the book here, it says that you've asked, what should I do next? This card responds, trust that your prayers have been heard and answered. Simply rest and retreat for now. After all, you prayed for divine intervention, so step aside and let heaven intervene, as this is the help you prayed for. You can assist the process initiated by your prayers through quiet contemplation. Ask heaven to give you very clear, easily understandable guidance, letting you know if you need to take any action. In the meantime, enjoy knowing your angels and guides surround you and your situation with loving care. Ask heaven to give you very clear, easily understandable guidance, letting you know if you need to take any action. In the meantime, enjoy knowing your angels and guides surround you and your situation with loving care. Step out of your own way. Let heaven help you now. Let heaven help you, and let the spirit of heavenly assistance, of heavenly help, guide that for you. Let her be a messenger for that to manifest in your life. Let her be the way in which you receive heaven's help for yourself. How do we do that? How do I work with the spirit of heavenly help? I call to you, spirit of heavenly help. Boom, just like that. And do it with me. I call to you, spirit of heavenly help. That's it. That's it. That's it. For those of you who work a 9 to 5, who work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, who have 2 jobs, who have the job at home and a job at work, who, you have this busy life, you're in school and you're at work, whatever the case might be. Your lives are very busy, and your lives are very busy. Trust me, I'm a Pisces too, so I've been feeling the brunt of the busyness going on. It's a good busyness, but it's busy, and it can be very overwhelming nonetheless, so I can definitely relate right now. Know that your lives are, they're busy. They can sometimes be overwhelming. We're praying for help this week, and heaven is there to assist us. And know that if you at all feel like you need to call upon the spirit of heavenly help, that's all you have to say are the words. That's it. That's it. You don't have to go meditate. You don't have to journey. You can if you want to. You can journey if you find time to journey, if you find time to meditate. Awesome. That's great. That is absolutely amazing. And if you find yourself so busy this week that you can't and you're not sure if you're going to be able to, ask yourself, how can I call in the spirit of heavenly help throughout this week? I can do it when I'm washing dishes, when I'm walking the dog, when I'm taking a shower, when I'm eating food, when I'm driving, when I'm at work, when I'm at school, when I'm taking care of the kids, when I'm at home, when I'm riding the horse, when I'm in nature, when I'm in the house, when I'm trying to sleep, when I'm getting ready to wake up in the morning, when I'm going to sleep at night. There's so many, our everyday lives, right? But we think that we don't have enough time. And a lot of times it feels like we do not have enough time. And yet, here are ways I'm showing you in which you can do this in the interim of everything that you have going on in your life right now. It's so easy to call on the spirit of heavenly help. And I do hope that you get a chance to actually call on her for assistance. Which transitions me right into my next and my announcement here. I'm currently going to be creating my website. I want to show you this picture of the spirit of heavenly help while we're creating this website, while I'm giving you this announcement. Excuse me, you know what's nice. But I'm currently in process of creating this website, and in the website I'm going to have a forum. And the forum is going to have a weekly thread for each different zodiac sign and for each different reading that came through for those signs, the oracle that came through, and the messages that came through, and kind of like a very safe container, if you will, in how these energies might have affected you throughout the week, you know, or they might be affecting you throughout the week. Or if you have any questions or anything extra that you might want to share, or any questions that I can help you with throughout the week in sharing this process. You know, I plan to be very interactive with this. There's a couple of things going on here. Number one, this gives you like a safe container in which you can share your ideas with other Pisceans, for example, that are going through this same process, and they can share their reflections on how this is working for them, and you can share on how it's working for you. And number two, for me, I'd like to record this information into my own personal Akashic records, if you will. My own personal Akashic records. These things that I want to kind of digest, if you will, and kind of take a look at and digest them and kind of record them to have as wisdom and experience for future healings. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be that person that's like, oh yeah, this person went through this in this situation, and, you know, this is what happened for them. No. But I love the feedback. I love the feedback. I love the feedback. I love feedback. I love to have more tools in my belt and more knowledge and wisdom of how something progressed. And the experience is a lot. The experience is what mostly I can divine messages for you, and the experience is what's going to be the icing on the cake. That's really going to be what tips that over and makes it good. And and gaining that experience, you know, getting that experience from you all is just going to be so great. And, you know, I might, you know, have some prizes or some, you know, gifts that I can give to you out there for you doing this for me. If it's a free reading, if it's a free healing session, a free Reiki session, a free shamanic healing session. You know, I might have some gifts out there for you. That I might have some things that I might be able to gift you as thanks for you helping me out. You know, it's just such great medicine, and I'd love to know your feedback. And even now that not having the website set up, if you want to leave a message and kind of let me know, even if you want to send me something personal, if you want to send something personal, feel free to leave a message about it. If it's not something that you necessarily feel like broadcasting, but you feel like it was interesting enough that you wanted to share this for me to have personally for my Akashic records, so that in the future, this situation this wisdom, this experience might really help, feel free to do that too. And know that this is perfectly optional. So you don't have to do this at all. So if you don't want to participate in sharing, you don't have to. And you can just be a part of the readings that happens week by week. You know, and that actually is very still helpful, and it's still healing in itself. You know, because you're being a part of the collective healing that's going on. And really, at the end of the day, that's more important than anything else that you can do. If you're being a part of the collective as well as the self, that's so important. But in this way, I'm kind of giving another amplified opportunity to be a part of the collective and the self at the same time. You know, because you're sharing your own personal experiences, and that matrix of energy is being sent out into the world for knowledge and further use. You know, and yeah, so it's just kind of an all-around helpful way. Completely optional. So yeah, that's the spirit. That's the spirit of the week, is the spirit of heavenly help. Again, I call to you the spirit of heavenly help. I call to you the spirit of heavenly help. And if you find yourself just overwhelmed and just busy with a lot of things to do, it's simply that easy. I call to you the spirit of heavenly help. And the spirit of heavenly help will be right there with you. And remember what she looks like. I mean, she's beautiful. I mean, you know, there she is right there. And the birds are coming down. And they're saying, we're here. We hear your prayers. This is your Oracle Medicine, sending you love, light, and Reiki, and looking forward to seeing you next reading. Aho.